Good morning, people. Good morning. Wow. Good morning, people. This is Spirit Journey. How are we today? Oh, we all are bright out of bushy tail, boy. Yes, today is Wednesday. Hello, Wednesday. Wednesday morning here in Rwanda. Yes, today is April 16, 2025, and it's just after 6 in the morning. I've been up now maybe no more than a half an hour. Honey, I was exhausted. Yes, good morning, view. Good morning, visitor. Good morning, good morning. Yes, I'm in bed. Don't want to show all myself. Please wait. Yeah, I'm just awaking. And I am exhausted, people. You know something? I get tired easy, it seems, these days. I do. I, yeah, I went out yesterday. I had to go into the city, the heart of the city in Kigali. And wow, it was busy. And yeah, I was looking for a double boiler. And I should have known that they didn't have it when I called up first. And she thought I said a bowl, but it's boiler. But so I try to describe it. I said, it's like a pot that you're cooking, and you use two pots. The bottom pot is filled with water, and the top one, you put the food in, and it heats it up. Well, they didn't have anything near it. But yeah, and when she first she said like yeah, I said, oh, what size you have, and then she hung up. It's so typical. Yeah, that's what happened. She hung up on me, and I knew. I said, oh, she probably doesn't have it. But I said, it's supposed to be it's top rated. Either way, I'm glad I went because I got to see the center of town. Yeah, real busy. Had a lot of people. And it turned out that two of the stores that I wanted to see, yeah, they were both in the same vicinity. Yeah, so because I was asking around uh, in the mall, it's like a little mall, and yeah, so I would at least I know that in the mall they have like uh, a lot of like they had a Simba there, and so they had a large variety of cleaners, things to clean your household, like body washes. I mean, they had it packed with toiletries. So, and it did have some kitchen appliances, things like that. Um, so say if you just want to see, and yeah, a lot of phone stores, for phone repair, accessories, cell phone accessories. Wow. So either way, they didn't have what I wanted, but honey, I was tired. Yeah, it did rain. It's rainy season, and you may hear in the background, let me see. Yeah, you hear that? It's raining really hard. So yeah, it's rainy season in Rwanda, and man, yeah, it was raining real hard. It's a steady pour right now, and it was thundering. And the lights had gone out. Yes, it did. This is a nice, cozy moment here in Rwanda. You just want to chill out, and you're not in any rush to go outside. No, why wouldn't? So anyway, I just wanted to get that out the way. Yeah, I want to talk about some of the vision for the day that I had. I had this vision, and then I was meaning to tell you this other vision I had the other day that I didn't report. and then a recap, because I did a video yesterday regarding what is the purpose of, of the race and everything. And while I was doing the video last night, I didn't realize how tired I was. Like I was lying in bed, like right now. And all of a sudden, this feeling of tiredness came over me. And I don't know whether, I was on for a while, and I started getting really sleep, forgetting what I'm going to say and things like that. And so, yeah, basically the whole point is that we go through life, and what is the purpose? Like we want our children to go to the best colleges. Everything is always about, we have to do this because it's the next thing, in our journey. We got to race. We got to, you got to put your kids through the best elementary school or preparatory school, and then you got to get into the Ivy League school, and then this and that. But at the end, okay, you have your little journey, and everybody's racing to get to the finish line, and then at the end you end up at the same spot. At the end, I know of people who are Ivy School graduates, and then in high school everything was about preparing for medical school, and in the journey sometimes it could get modified. The person I know, they didn't they didn't become a doctor, but they got their MBA, and they did the internship in Europe, and then they came back from Europe, and then they became an analyst, and then now they board, we call it, they're boarders of various organizations. But and the person is living on the east side in an apartment. Most likely it's probably the CEO who, they didn't have a gold spoon in their mouth. They weren't brilliant. They didn't go to Ivy League school. They were civil servants, and they took the city exam and they passed it. Back in the day, people said, "Oh, did you take the Chief?" Yeah, the Chief was the periodical that you get. It looked like a newspaper for civil service jobs, and everybody, mostly black people got the Chief. Hey, you see the fireman exam? Oh, did you see the post office exam? And everybody's asking each other in the community, hey, you see that exam thing, being posted? Hey, did you pass? And that was the talk. And people would, hey, yeah, I got past the exam. And then they get in and they have their journey. Some of them might have been written up because they made a mistake on the job and they thought they're going to lose their job, right? 30 years pass. 30 years pass. And then they retire. Okay. And I see this whole circle, right? And what happens? They, towards the end, like, they go on vacations. Every year they go on their little vacations. And I'm thinking back with some other people who I know who've passed away, relatives, or much older relatives. And they went through the same process, the same journey. And then like I would say last 15 years of their life, they go on these vacations to Europe. They go on the cruise to the Caribbean. And then they get tired, and then they then have to go to the hospital for this pain, this ailment, that ailment, and then, lights out. But I remember growing up, I remember that this race that we have, and all these different things that I mentioned just now, different people's journeys, some are Ivy League school people, they're in top companies, and others civil service. But in the end, it's basically all the same. You know, let's say someone makes someone eats pizza and somebody eats this other cheesy food. You know, yeah, I learned this new dessert. I mean, this new food yesterday. Oh, but I forget the name. But in essence, people, it's a pizza. A pizza. It's like it's a Georgian dish. It's popular in Georgia, the country Georgia, and it almost looks like in the shape of the all-seeing eye, you know, or the vesica pisces, or a fish, in the inside, that the outline of a fish, and inside the thing, you know, shape of a fish, it is filled with cheese and other things, and it's in a puff, like a puffy dough. It's a pizza, but they call it, yeah, but it's something else. So basically, we're eating the same thing, but the perception that one food might be considered blue collar, the other one's a little more edgier, more prestige. But in the end, you're eating cheese with bread. So a lot of it is perception. And that's what I was trying to address yesterday night before I really got real sleepy and I started stumbling over my word and everything. This is a journey. And we may feel that we may not be important because maybe we didn't go to an Ivy League school, or maybe you didn't get to live in that fancy neighborhood. But in the end, we wind up at the same place. We wind up at the same stop sign. So that's all I wanted to say. And because some of us, we could feel like failures because we didn't reach this particular goal. We didn't move into that fancy neighborhood. But you know what? Sometimes some of us, we get to go and live in certain areas, but through a different door. I got to live in a fancy high-rise apartment in the middle of everything, 24/7 amenities in the neighborhood. But I didn't have you can have people who aren't rich and they might in near these areas where they have all these amenities. But we didn't have the prestige. We didn't go in those fancy, but you're still getting the benefit. You're still getting it. And all these people who fought just to get ahead, and there are other ways, back doors, that you can access it. We may not be a part of the country club, but there are other clubs out there. But in the end, it's all the same. That's what I wanted to say, people. And I'm not here to take away anybody's dream. Your dream is something maybe life planted it inside of you to obtain that. For those of you who didn't obtain those fancy dreams, it's okay. You went through what you went through. But I would say, what did you learn? What did you learn in the game called life? What did you learn in the game called life? I say yourself, Love yourself. Learn to respect yourself. Uh, think good thoughts about yourself. That is the real battle. And that's what I learned just like I went out like 4 days ago. I went out, and it's something when you start to learn certain things about yourself. And if you're not exposed to it, like you can go through life, and let's say you were never challenged. Let's say, just for example, I'm just going to make up something. Let's say you live in the land of the giants, and you're a giant yourself, okay? And then you get in another world, and they're even bigger than you. And in this new world, you're a dwarf. And you have a whole different perspective now, being the dwarf. And your insecurities start to arise. And you're the same person. You're the same person in the inside. But because you're now challenged in a new environment, all your insecurities came out. And I was faced with this a couple of days ago. I started to feel this feeling of inadequacy. But I'm the same person. So I want to just tell you guys, hey, in life, you're going to be presented in a new environment. But just but just remind yourself, it's all about perception on how you see things. Nothing did change, just your perception on things changed regarding you. But you are the same person. You are valued. You are a good thing. Don't let the deception of your new environment modify, diminish the truth. You, the essence of you, have not changed. Just your perception. Change your perception. So no matter what environment that you're in, you will stay centered. And that is, I think, the key message of this race called life. We're just in a new perspective on things. And it's how you internalize it that is altered. But the essence of you has remained the same. So with all that being said, the next thing I'm going to talk about is the vision that I had. I had a vision this morning. Many of you know when I awaken, I lie still, I keep my eyes closed, and I concentrate forward, if that makes sense. And often I see something. Okay. And this is what I saw. And I saw something like this before. So there's a continuity of some of the things that I see. Um, it's hard to describe, but it looked like I was seeing it again, an artificial world. It looked like a toy world. It looked like a world of make-believe. I saw that like this, I call it like a seaweed, like it's something in the ether there. It, it's these stringy things that's floating in the air, and it's flat and like seaweed. It's but little strips of it, and it's in the ether that I'm looking through, and I saw a figure, and the figure was of it looked like a type of doll or muppet. Okay, um, it there was a TV series that came out very long time ago, over 50 years ago. It could have been even over 60 years ago. And it was called David and Goliath. It was a religious program, actually. It could have actually been done by the Mormons. It could have been, I'm not sure. But it's some religious organization. It was called David and Goliath. And these were little animated figures, dolls, or stuffed animals, and they would meticulously film it. Like they put them up in one position, take a picture, and then put them up in another position. I'm using the term muppet, but a puppet or whatever, and um, and then when they gather them all together, it would be motion, and that's in essence how it was really done. But it was done meticulously, and the boy in the movie, the boy, it looked like it was carved, like plastic or something. It would look hard and smooth, and it it had like painted hair, painted eyes, and to make the mouth move. Now I saw this thing. It looked similar shape. It had like a wide face. Um, its eyes were open, and it's like peeking through behind that like seaweed thing that I would see. And it was like supposed to be a Caucasian doll, because in the movie, the TV series David and Goliath, they may have different races. They have a dark brown one that's supposed to be a black person. Uh, they might have different color hair to represent that they had blonde hair or brunette or red hair. Um, that boys and girls, men, women, and but how you remember how the face was? So you could go on like Google it, David and Goliath TV series to see the type of faces of the people, and that's what it looked like. That type of face, and I was looking at it, and it was maybe a foot and a half away from my face, where I was seeing from. Okay, so it's pretty close, but not too close, but it's close. And I'm seeing it through that seaweed thing, and then I noticed like I was trying to focus on the face of this small muppet, whatever you want to call it, and I remember on the face, I saw like a stream of light um, on its face. Okay, and it was supposed to be like a Caucasian one, so it was a light color one. But I remember seeing a little light reflect on his face, and that's significant also. Because remember, I made mention about my vision. Oftentimes, this light would come on, this energy light or plasma, whatever. And when that light comes on, I know that it's going to stop soon. The vision is going to stop. It seems like when this energy light comes on, oops, sorry about that, I'm on low battery, so I know it's going to be short, this video. Yeah, when the light comes on, that we're going to disconnect. That it means. It's like I am with this meditation thing and vision, that it's something, excuse me, uh, they're aware that I'm seeing, that I penetrated this dimension, and they don't want me to see. And so this light thing comes on, and when that happens, it's almost, it's not that it's blinding me, but it's like impossible to keep the vision of what I'm seeing, and then it disappears. So when I saw the light today, I could tell that, and it reflected off of the puppet or the Muppet's face. And I said to I mentally spoke and said in my mind to it, I said, I think I said like, hello, I'm from a different dimension, and I mean harm. I'm here in peace. That's what I said something like that. That's what happened. And that's all that I saw, But you can see that it's in its head. It's trying to peek through, the like the seaweed thing is something that's blocking our view. And that's in many of the visions I have, this component of this thing that's blocking my view, you know? And at least I feel it's there to block your view. It doesn't want you to see. And if you by chance do see, the light comes on, that it's like it's like a spot, it's like it it's not like a beam, it's not a light beam, but it's like a blob of light, and it's intense, it's small, and it when it comes on, it's not like a colored light, it's like a regular light, you know, uh, plain light, like your light bulb or something like that, that color light, and it's suspended in air, and somehow it's able to grow in size or intensity, and when that happens, I get disconnected and you cannot see anymore. So that's today's vision, you know. So I told my, you know, spoke to myself to in hopes that I could communicate with this doll, that I come in peace and I'm from a 3D world, and that's what I said. Okay, and the other vision I had, I had maybe 2 days ago. Um, Under the certain circumstances, I woke up, I kept my eyes closed, and then I concentrate forward, and then I get to see a vision. And the vision I saw, and uh, it, it was dark. It was dark in the room, in the environment that I was, but it had some illumination. You know, it was like a, it looked almost like a cave. Everything was made out like a stone. You saw stone everywhere, and it was dimly lit. And to my left was a wheel, a stone wheel, very porous, very porous. It was a dark gray, porous material. It looked very ancient. Um, the face, okay, the wheel might have been maybe that thick, you know, that wide, okay. The dimensions might have been a diameter of maybe a foot and a half, maybe. Wasn't that big, but maybe a foot and a half, or even a little smaller. The face of the wheel. Imagine the wheel is standing up like this, okay? But and the face of the wheel, you know, where my hand is, the face of my hand. It was flat, and on the perimeter, you know, but on the face of the wheel, not the wheel that is touching the ground, like when a wheel moves forward, not that portion of the wheel that's actually touching the ground and you can roll, not that, but the face of it that's standing perpendicular to the ground. On the outer perimeter were these little, imagine you get like a golf ball, and you cut the golf ball in half, and you paste them on the perimeter, outer perimeter, on this wheel. It's all made of the same material. It's all stone. It's one material that's heavy, dark gray, porous stone. And that's what I saw. That is what I saw. It looked very old. I've never seen anything like it. And it was standing up the wheel. It didn't seem to be connected to anything. It was just one wheel that I saw, and I tried to like see around the object, and I just saw that there was some rock, the rock of the same material on the side of it, like the wheel was leaning against this big bulging rock or something like that. I didn't see anybody there, no other artifacts. I don't know if there's any carvings, any other design on it. I don't remember, but I did remember the little balls, you know, nodules that are on the perimeter of the wheel. And that's what I saw. That was just a couple of days ago. And again, today is the 16th of April. and the time right now is 6:30. That's what happened. Those are the things, the vision that I saw for today. And I'm wondering, any of you, I've been mentioning my visions now since 2017, I think, or even 2016. Have any of you ever done practice that I've been telling you about for all these years? Wow, it's now 8 years now 8 years now that I've been doing this. 8 years, and it's a plane. Yeah, it's rainy season in Rwanda. It's rainy season. Yeah, and it's a plane that's going by. It's real cloudy. People, that is what that's what my vision was. But yeah, people, there is other out there, other dimensions. And I'm wondering, people, have you, in my journey for the past 8 years, my having and sharing my vision, again, these visions are spontaneous upon awakening from dreaming or sleeping. I keep my eyes closed, and this is what my third eye is showing me in my inner eye. And sometimes it's very, very clear and sharp, and a lot of times, most of the time, it's very hazy and dimly lit. But it is what it is. You know, it's free to do. Let me know, people, what you've been seeing. Have any of you been doing meditations? Especially doing this morning meditations upon awakening. People, you can see things. You could, I believe, your mind teleport. Remember I shared that I was seeing what like here I'm thinking it's like a television set that I'm seeing. Well, television mean that I'm seeing as if I'm watching a TV, and you don't expect your TV to respond to you, right? I've had experience that it responded to me, and unfortunately, it's not positive. What happened? The person was an African fellow, and this is back in America. He grabs a spear and started trying to stab what he sees that I'm seeing. Like I'm seeing this and trying to stab where I am. Wherever how I manifested. I don't know whether being manifested as a light or as a ghost or as a see-through person. I don't know. But he saw something and he responded in a negative way. I've seen things like I was the participant, like I was walking in a house that I've never been in. Sometimes I feel like I'm living in another body. I don't know whether it's a past life. Like I was a man in a thing. I felt like I was a lady in another thing. All these things are like you can appear in a facility. You can be like maybe in another world. I saw creatures like these giant spiders that was in a like Star Wars type of environment. Really weird, people. I've seen these things. I do not do drugs. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke, anything like that. But I'm letting you know, people, your mind is powerful. And your mind could transport you to all parts of the galaxy and realities. So I encourage you, people, to this meditation method. You don't need anything. You just need to wake up in the morning, keep your eyes closed, relax, and just as if you're looking into your eyelids, your closed eyelids, and just look straight ahead, and you're going to have an experience, okay? So my batteries are going to run low, are running low now, and I have to go now. But thank you for coming on with me. It's always a pleasure to see that people are watching. and listening and sharing this journey called life, okay? This is Spirit Journey signing off here in Rwanda. Take care. Bye-bye.